and welcome to the David Frankal Show. Before I start, I'd just like to say thank you so much for 450 subscribers. That is absolutely phenomenal. Wait, what? I'm only on 440? It's okay, don't panic. I've got this Northern Irish spam bot. I'll call them up, I'll get 10 more. Hi, yes, I'd like to purchase 10 subscribers, please. You want how much? So it's been a while since episode 65, let's recap. Term was officially due to end on the 12th of May, however, after the school uncovered a plot by some students in my year to ransack the school and disrupt all the classes on the last day, called Muck-Up Day, we ended up being banned, and therefore the last day of term was the Wednesday the 10th of May. That weekend, last weekend before my exams, was also my cousin's bat mitzvah in London, so we spent the weekend there, although I could not stay for the party as I needed to get home so I could go to sleep at a reasonable time. The second week of exams was probably the worst week, not just of exams, but just in general ever. Obviously the exams were particularly terrible, including both English literature papers. It also happened to be the week where Manchester got bombed in the tragic terrorist attack in Manchester Arena, and it was also the week that my grandma died after an infection. Now, Duncan and I had been planning to do the second round of the Trainspotting Tour just a few days later, and I was pretty close to cancelling it because A, I wasn't in the mood, and B, because I needed time to revise, having lost the first week of the half-term with the funeral and everything. But actually, I changed my mind and decided to do the Trainspotting Tour too, because I thought it would cheer me up, and also because I needed reminding that there is purpose to life other than GCSEs, something that is very easy to forget. And after another 2 and a bit weeks, I finally got through it all. I don't know how I did yet, because the results day isn't until August 24th. However, I'm fairly confident, and on the bright side, at least we weren't asked about tissue in English Literature Paper 2. Phew. For more about the funniest side of exams, check out the last episode of the David Frankal Show featuring Ellie and Rebecca. So, Duncan and I did the Trainspotting Tour 2, which was a mix of different things. We redid some of the episodes we did last time that didn't end up so well for various reasons, such as Altrincham, Wilmslow and Warrington. We did some of the places we missed out last time, such as Eccles and Stoke-on-Trent. And we also went to new places slightly further afield, such as Preston, Sheffield, Stafford and Chester. And unlike last time, I actually managed to get the trailer out just about a month after we did it. And the episodes are being uploaded every Monday and Friday throughout these few weeks. Day 4 was just released yesterday, and tomorrow will be the Ardwick episode. Oh yeah, and there was also the surprise general election, featuring Theresa May, who didn't really do any campaigning, Jeremy Corbyn, who became surprisingly popular, bad maths, and the fields of wheat. And at the end of it all, the Tories actually lost their majority and had to sign a coalition with the Northern Irish equivalent of the monster Raving Loony Party. So the DUP are pro-unionist, obviously, anti-gay, oh dear, anti-abortion, and pro-creationism, which I didn't even know was a political stance. Now you may be thinking, David, you're Jewish. It's a bit hypocritical of you to criticise a political party for genuinely believing that the Earth is 5,777 years old and that evolution is a myth. And to that, I can only give you this, are you serious? Stare. There have also been 2 other terrorist attacks in London, and of course the tragic Grenfell Tower disaster, which has caused mass panic in the tower cladding industry. Because why would you bother cladding a tower in fireproof cladding? That just sounds like a silly idea. But hey, it could be worse. I mean, at this point I've just completely lost track of what the hell is going on in Trumpland. I mean, my process of reading stories is now, is this about Trump and Russia? Yes. Is he still president? Yes. Then I don't care. It also looks as though the Republicans are now planning to repeal net neutrality. So at least there are some good things about living in the UK. So anyway, I am now on summer holiday and I've been doing my best to keep myself from being completely bored out of my mind for the past month. Now the kind of line between school and summer has been much blurrier this year than usual, because in a way I've had 4 last days. I had the last day of term, which was on the 10th of May, the last day of exams, which was on the 19th of June, the official leavers lunch, which was on the 30th of June, and the last day in which I was physically in school, which was for the summer concert, and that was on the 6th of July. There's also results day on the 24th of August, but that doesn't count. But no matter where you draw the line, I'm officially on summer now, which is nice, and I've been up to a lot. There was also Taster Week in that time, and me having a massive headache over A-level options. You see, I was planning to take physics and geography, as well as maths and history for A-level, but unfortunately they clash. The school would like me to take another subject, but it looks as though I might actually be getting a tutor to teach me geography instead. On Friday the 23rd of June, I visited the legendary Stockport-Stalybridge once-a-week northbound only parliamentary service with Duncan, and I made a video. I also went on it again last Friday for a slightly different reason, but I'll talk more about that in a bit. In the meantime, I've been shopping for some more clothes. Yes, me buying clothes, shock horror. I now own more than just my 2 iconic red t-shirts. Congratulations me. I've also ventured north of Preston for the first time in a while, spending the weekend in Lancaster and taking the train back, and also doing a day trip to Blackpool with Ellie and Rebecca. Now, the videos I filmed at Blackpool I will be using to trial a kind of new format, some changes in the way I make and upload videos. One complaint I've had, not so much from the YouTube comments, more kind of like from my brother and also my friends who are less interested in the railways, is that the balance between the railway and non-railway aspects of my videos has kind of been tipped, and that lumping everything into one big video is not the best way to serve what I have, which is a split audience. So what I'm going to be kind of testing out with the Blackpool video is, instead of making one big Blackpool video, I've split it into 3. The main video, which will focus on mostly the non-railway aspects, is already up, and I will also make a video of the railway journey and also one about the trams. However, these 2 videos have to wait in a queue because I have other railway journey videos I want to upload first from the Trainspotting Tour 2 and also from Lancaster. Last Friday I went on the Stockport to Stalybridge service again, in the hopes of ambushing Jeff and Vicky, the All the Stations team, who are currently in the process of visiting all 2,563 national rail stations in the UK. The advantage of having a once-a-week northbound only parliamentary service means that it doesn't leave very much room for flexibility, which is unfortunate if you live in Reddish South, but very convenient if you're trying to meet a couple visiting all the stations in the UK who happen to be in Manchester that week. However, I left Stockport and they weren't there. So there I was, sat crossing the Stockport Viaduct, having cycled to Stockport that morning, where weather outside was miserable, and I felt like this was all a bit of a waste of time. But then, lo and behold, at Reddish South, some people got on. And that's the story of how I met Jeff and Vicky from all the stations, which was really great. So now that we're all caught up, we'll do the usual let's talk about all the videos that are coming up thing. As usual, I will not be able to upload frequently in late July or early August, however I will be scheduling the release of Trainspotting Tour 2 videos in advance, which will be released on Mondays and Fridays. We have 8 main episodes left, plus 1 mini episode which I might make into a main episode depending on how long it is, as well as 2 more railway journey episodes from the tour and 2 day videos. The last main episode in Chester is currently scheduled to be released on the 21st of August, although obviously that might change. I also have, of course, the railway journey videos from Lancaster and Blackpool, the Blackpool trams video, and a video I made from the Museum of Science and Industry a few weeks ago, and a few other goodies. I also need to get round to making Hitler's GCSEs Part 2, which I really should have released about 2 weeks ago. Now, I've kind of abandoned the whole talk about the Doctor Who episode thing as an official segment because it just ended up with me kind of recapping the plot of every episode and it was a bit boring, but I'll talk a little bit about the last series, Series 10, which has just finished. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you haven't seen the finale. By the way, how? Just for the record, I really enjoyed World Enough in Time. I thought it was great. And thinking about the twist endings, it was a good twist ending, but it just felt like it should have been 2 different twist endings of 2 different episodes, and I think putting together kind of devalued that. You know, the 2 twists obviously being the reveal of John Simm's master and the fact that Bill is now Cyberman. Also, the whole plot of Bill being a Cyberman but thinking she's still a human, I later realised, was kind of copy and paste from Asylum of the Daleks at the start of Series 7, where Oswin is converted to a Dalek but thinks she's still a human. Although at least the end of Asylum of the Daleks made sense. This was also Peter Capaldi's last episode, although They did not show us his regeneration, and we do not know quite yet who the 13th Doctor is. However, today, on the 16th of July, it will be revealed after the Wimbledon's final, which I don't care about. So yeah, you'll have to check up on that yourself, as it has not yet been announced at the time of filming. Shout out this week is of course to all the stations who are now 70% of the way through visiting every national rail station in the UK. They've just finished Wales, Liverpool and Manchester, and are probably in Yorkshire somewhere. The next episode of the David Frankal Show will be on Sunday the 13th of August. This week's Trainspot of the Week, yes I know I forgot to do this in the guest special last time, is a pair of Freightliner Class 86s passing Manchester Piccadilly, filmed on our way to Blackpool North. And yes, also I know in train news I accidentally mixed up 68s and 86s. I was tired, okay?
Please stand well clear of the edge of platform 14.
Also, by the way, I got a new camera. Here it is. It's very cool. In terms of the outside shots, so like train spotting railways and everything, I'm generally very happy with the quality, but I'm aware that the in-room quality in here, the picture's good, but the sound actually doesn't sound that great. So what I might do is buy a microphone for it, maybe later on. So I'm sorry that the sound's a bit bad, but never mind.
So, what's the naughtiest thing you've ever done?
Oh goodness me.
So, out of cutting police numbers, becoming unelected Prime Minister, triggering Article 50, calling a general election, and losing your majority, and refusing to resign, the naughtiest thing you've done is running through wheat. What's the press going to make of that?
Well, despite the negative press of Fifi...
Who are we?
Vicky and Jeff.
What do we do?
Trains. Good morning!
Good morning.
It's day 66.
It's July the 11th.
How on earth is it day 66? And we're in
Chester!
nice clock.
I still can't look around Chester.
I promise to bring you back to Chester someday. Are you ready to do sort of Liverpool and Manchester?
I'm ready.
To the trains.
To the stations. All of them.